Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in this series between Infi and WFZ. Let's go ahead and turn off Fog of War here on Turtle Rock. Infi spawning as the blue human player at the 9 or 10 o'clock position. Meanwhile, down over here, what I'll call the 4 or 5 o'clock position, we see WFZ spawning as the red undead. Undead versus human here on Turtle Rock. It looks like it will be a pretty standard play so far. Altar of Kings, farm, barracks now placed down. Meanwhile, going up against the undead player. Undead player going for a crypt. Altar of Darkness. Ziggurat looks like he'll be opening up with ghouls first, and then perhaps transitioning to fiends later. Now, game 1, WFZ looked like he had a bit of an advantage going into one of those fights, and during the mid-game, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually was ahead. The problem was that Infi was able to then walk around the map and then creep out every orange and red creep camp without getting creep jacked. With that, he had better items, that Claws of Attack +9, the Rune Bracers, the Pendant of Energy, the Gem of Health. All of those items made the human heroes just that much stronger, that much more difficult to take out, and once that was the case, even though the paladin was, say, only a level 2 or level 3 hero, at 1100 hit points, he wasn't going to be falling anytime soon, because all he had to do was pop a divine shield, and then he's safe for another 15 seconds, and then if his life got any lower, well, he still has to lose 1100 of it. So things went extremely well for the human player, being able to just run around the map, creep every which place he wants to, and now we'll see what WFZ learns from that previous game. Death Knight on the move out already, gonna try and creep out this Sea Turtle Hatchling creep camp. Meanwhile, Militia creeping out the Ogre Troll creep camp instead of that Sea Turtle Hatchling creep camp. One of the reasons why you generally want to creep out the Sea Turtle Hatchling creep camp is that the Militia are able to clear that creep camp out particularly quickly because of the normal damage that a Death Knight has, or sorry, the Militia have. Death Knight comes in, gets a quick death coil onto those units there, and is able to finish off Water Elemental, getting 42 experience. Always a nice location, or nice way to go, as we are looking at a second Water Elemental now being dropped. Beautiful recovery by Infi to regain the gold that would have been lost if that Forest Troll was felled by the undead army. Death Knight now still running back here, sitting at 42 experience. He hasn't really stolen any experience yet, just got some free experience from that poor Water Elemental that fell. Death Knight now deciding to wander back here. Archmage may drop some Water Elementals and go after this Gargantuan and Giant Sea Turtle creep camp, as this Water Elemental finishes off that Forest Troll. Archmage still sitting at level 1, but is awfully close to level 2 if he can just get 1 or 2 more kills. That's going to be the case here, as the Giant Sea Turtle is going to fall. There's level 2 now on the Archmage, and Infi is just buying time to get higher and higher level, as he's using Water Elementals all across the map and Militia to just creep every which corner. Death Knight now looking to perhaps venture forth again. Is he going to be able to find a very low hit point Water Elemental? It doesn't appear to be so. And oh, just needs one more shot. There's the death coil, and now up to 62 experience. I would have expected actually a little bit more there. It should be 84. So he may not have gotten the kill there. 42 experience plus 40 or 21 experience. What gives 21 experience? 25 experience, I believe, or 20 experience is a simple peasant. So I'm not quite sure what 30 or even 40 experience all of those numbers come out to be. Archmage does have Dust of Appearance, is now venturing forth once more. Meanwhile, the Crypt Fiends are looking to engage against those footmen. The footmen, however, backing off in time, and we are going to be going into another engagement here. So far, the Archmage is trying to run around in circles. Meanwhile, the footmen are running back all the way home. as the Archmage looking to head back home once again. There's one skeletal minion fighting or hanging around over here. Let's take a look. Is the Death Knight going to perhaps be able to take down that Archmage? Archmage still with plenty of hit points and mana, just wandering all the way back here as we are looking at the Footman perhaps trying to creep out another creep camp. So far, that Archmage still running around in circles and now going to make its way back over here to the Goblin Merchant shop. We are sitting at almost tier 2. Meanwhile, tier 2 should already be done. Yes, Halls of the Dead. Lich is now being trained, and we should be seeing a tech to tier 3 in any moment. Forest Troll Warlord giving a bit of a chase against all of these units here. And are we going to see a potential creep jack? That is the question. Death Knight and Crypt Fiend now making its way over here to the center. Crypt Fiend trying to battle it up against a low hit point Footman. That Footman, however, gonna get taken down. There it goes as the Archmage shows up to try and lend a hand. Alright, that hand summoning water elementals and just launching a little bit of fireballs back at that Death Knight. The Death Knight will be forced to get away, and there they go. Footman, Water Elementals now heading off to the north. Meanwhile, back over here, you can see that the Death Knight is going after the Giant Sea Turtle Creep Camp. It is going to get taken out. The Death Knight wants to get to level 2, but has not really found the opportunity to do so. Infi still constantly harassing his opponent, not allowing him to do his creeping. So far, the Archmage now trying to back off as we see a Mountain King now being added. A Mountain King, an unsuspecting Stormbolt out of nowhere, could tip things in favor of the human player. So far, though, the Giant Sea Turtle, oh, does he get the kill? It looks like it. It looks like he got the kill there, and now venturing forth with this Death Knight and Unholy Aura, that is going to be a huge advantage if the Death Knight can actually make something of this, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle still getting in some free damage onto that Water Elemental. Alright, let's take a look at this back around. The Death Knight ventures forth again. There's a huge Frost Nova. There goes a Footman. Another Footman could get taken down. No, instead defend, as the Footman is just reflecting a bit of damage back and forth. There it goes again. But the Mountain King now shows up, and this is where we may have a bit of a problem. If the Mountain King gets off another Stormbolt, things could go from bad to worse as the Water Elemental gets picked off there. Waiting for another Stormbolt. There it is. Water Elemental gets taken down, but the Mountain King is already in position. It looks like it would have taken down that Crypt Fiend if it wasn't for some timely death coiling, as the Death Knight still sitting at level 2 and now without mana in a serious bit of trouble. Alright, Staff of Teleportation. That Mountain King able to get away without a problem, and it has, I believe, returned to that Archmage. 8 minutes into this game. Level 2 on the Archmage, level 1 on the Mountain King. Lich sitting at level 1, almost level 2, and the Death Knight sitting at level 2. You can see that the Lich does get to level 2 here, and this Crypt Fiend, low on hit points, needs to figure out a way to stay alive. Would really like to get a Death Coil, but we don't have enough mana from these Obsidian statues for that Death Knight as of yet. Alright, so far creeping out these center turtle creep camps. Always important, as they do drop what I call the level 7 potions. The level 7 potions, Potion of Invulnerability, Potion of Greater Healing, potion or Health Stone or a Mana Stone, all very, very, I think actually those are actually 1 tier up. But those are all very strong items. Tome of Strength and Scroll of the Beast, very, very strong items if you want to make your army just feel that much larger. Alright, as the Giant Sea Turtles are falling, the Lich now deciding to pull back here, doesn't want to take a bit too much damage, and it looks like that Giant Sea Turtle will come crashing down. There it goes, giving in a little bit of gold to that Lich. Archmage now wandering again. Let's take a look at where that Archmage is going. The Archmage does pick up I believe a Circlet of Nobility, the Mountain King, with that Boots of Speed and Potion of Invulnerability. We are waiting to see what the Undead Armor, or yeah, this Undead Army will be doing. Will he perhaps be pushing forward a little bit too far and then get all of his units stuck, or is he going to have a well-timed, well-pronged attack that does commit a good number of units without sacrificing all of them? Alright, Arcane Tower now trying to get some damage off onto those Crypt Fiends, and the Crypt Fiends are now trying to get in position as well, but it's going to be rather difficult, as you can see why all of these units here can't actually get within range without really committing into that arcane tower. All right, let's take a look. Dark Ranger has been added. There is a Scroll Town portal landing straight up on top of the undead army. There's a roar now being used, as the Crypt Fiend is going to go ahead and get healed almost instantaneously. Had a lot more hit points to try and perhaps regenerate, but it needed to get out. Oh, what was that? Was that a dark ritual? Yes, it was perhaps a dark ritual, as the dark ritual was able to sacrifice the Crypt Fiend without giving any sort of experience. All right, there's another death coil. It looks as though the one poor Crypt Fiend is still stunned. It is going to stay stunned and then be dead after quite a while, as the destroyers are now going after those flying machines. But the flying machines are actually very, very powerful as well in this matchup. The flying machines really pushing forward and hoping to pull back all of these units. This is not looking good at all, as the flying machines continue their push forward. All right, 11 minutes into this game. So far, the Crypt Fiends are unable to really stop this onslaught of stutter-stepping flying machines, and it looks like one destroyer will fall, and a second destroyer may fall as well. Yes, there goes another destroyer there, and we are looking at perhaps the Lich doing a bit of an all-in at this point, knowing that he is not in a good spot. That is a whole bunch of flying machines. Any air army short of some splash damage AoE could pretty much melt to that if the flak cannon upgrade is completed. Alright, Death Knight now venturing forth to try and take down this Altar of Kings. Meanwhile, the human player doesn't really seem to care about it, as the Death Knight now... Oh, Archmage, what happened? Wait, what happened? Okay, I am so sorry. Somehow I missed... Wow. I somehow missed the Mountain King and the Paladin both falling here. You can see that the Mountain King and the Paladin are trying to get resurrected. It is getting repaired here. The Knight now trying to pull back out. I must have just absolutely, completely missed a huge play there, as the Knight now falls as well. The Death Knight and the Lich both sitting at level 3, and the Mountain King is out. The Mountain King only sitting at 2 here. And this is looking very, very good for WFZ. WFZ, oh, there is a Stormbolt onto the Crypt Fiend. The Crypt Fiend does get taken out here. The Mountain King now trying to run back all the way around. Looks like it will end up taking a lot of damage here. And the Mountain King tries to finish off one of those Crypt Fiends. Are we going to perhaps see a Frost Nova? No, yes, Frost Nova, Death Coil. There goes the unit. And there is the GG coming in from Infi, as WFZ takes game 2. All right, gonna take a little bit of a breather before I start game 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.